Welcome back to the Malted Man Cave, or should I say, David's house.
Yeah, my
We're not in the
living room.
basement.
Yeah, we're in a living room where people should
I could
be.
say we could see the sun, but it's nighttime.
Yeah, it's always nighttime when we get together.
Don't mind these huge welts on my head. I was doing yard work for my wife the other day. We have this huge property, this house that we bought, and the people that lived there before were two retired teachers that all they loved to do with their free time was garden. So we have like a bazillion perennials, and I thought my wife would love to do flower beds, but she does not.
Nobody loves to do flower beds.
So that duty has fallen on me, and I apparently don't know what poison ivy looks like, so I have it all over my face, my arms. So we felt like tonight would be a good night to drink, so I cannot feel the itching. So, without further ado, tonight we're going to be doing kind of a quick review. We're going to be doing Knob Creek Kentucky Straight Whiskey. Bourbon whiskey, sorry. It is a small batch, which we all know is not really that small. I'm actually not sure. I did my research a while ago about how many barrels a small batch was, and I completely forget. So you're going to have to go online and Google that yourself because I don't remember. This is at 50% ABV, non-colored, and I don't think this one is chill filtered, but I don't know for sure. I'm just going on texture. So, Dave, actually, you might have a little knowledge on this. Didn't you say that you spent time at the Jim Beam distillery?
We did go through it, and I don't think I had the Knob Creek. I think I had the Booker's is what I had before. But while we were there, basically we were on a bachelor party, so they let us have a pretty good time while we were there, just as long as we were responsible. But they actually took us through all the warehouses where everything is stored and how it's rotated in the shelves. And
do they have the really tall, high rack? I mean, you know, we've talked a lot about managed warehouses.
Yes.
Unfortunately, a lot of Scotch distilleries are not doing this, but back in the day, they used to always be dunnage warehouses that had earthen floors, slate roofs, thatch roofs, and they're only stacked them 3 high. And that's so that kind of the humidity and kind of the moisture and even the soil, you actually get that kind of rich, earthy, even chocolatey sometimes notes.
Yeah.
And bourbon's a little bit different, that they actually have tall rack houses. And I think in my Maker's review, I actually said that they're one of the few ones that actually rotate. So take the ones way up high in the rack houses that could be like 20, 3 stories, 2 stories high, and actually bring them down. And I don't think Knob Creek or any other Jim Beams do it. But
you don't think they rotate it?
I don't think so.
Maybe they don't.
But were they tall rack houses?
Yes.
They were?
Yeah. Thanks for correcting me.
What? What did you say?
Or about the rotation. Getting onto the nose.
Oh, did you say that?
Yeah.
I didn't know you said. Did you say they rotate them?
I thought that they had said that they did rotate them. I don't know.
They may maybe Maker's Mark just lies, but that's what I read on their their website.
If only we had a Jim Beam rep that watched the channel.
If only.
Stelzer, if you're watching, if you rep Jim Beam, let us know.
Does he does that for a living?
Yeah.
That's cool. Anything else we want to say about this before we get into the taste?
It's a great I always enjoy it. My father-in-law loves Knob Creek, and I've had it a lot with him, and so it reminds me of him, and that's not a bad thing. I get along with my father-in-law.
You need to subscribe to the channel.
I do. He would enjoy it. He would want to come over.
Would that not be a good thing?
Remember when you came to the door?
Yes, I did.
What do you want?
I was like, who the frick are you, kid? I'm here to see Dave.
He is a very intimidating man.
All right. Without further ado, enough blabbering. Let's get into the nose.
By the way, do you want to address the elephant in the room?
I forgot my other Glencairn glass to share with Dave, so
Yeah.
he's got
I've got a wine glass. It works just fine. On the nose, right off the bat, vanilla, a little bit of caramel in there, and I was trying to distinguish what fruit I was smelling. I was smelling a fruit, and I couldn't figure out what the fruit was. And then I remembered it's because it reminds me a lot of Skittles, which is a candy. And it's a Skittles fruity candy that I'm smelling.
Yeah, I definitely smell it. It's got some power to it, doesn't it?
Oh man,
That's got some boom.
And the ABV, wow. But it's good. I mean, it's not. I don't think the hot or the heat of it detracts from it, but it is.
You know, I like it when it stings my nostrils. The hotter the better.
Down into the belly. And then wood. Now, I wanted to ask you. I might have asked you this before. Oak. Why? So I know that this is stored in oak barrels, correct?
American oak.
American oak.
Virgin,
right?
Which means it's never been used for anything else before.
And we've talked
Fresh.
about this before about the different oaks as far
American
as
oak.
American oak and then the
Yep.
European. Okay.
What were your questions about the oak?
Just if oak is the primary wood that's used for cask, or if there's any other type of wood that
It has to be a minimum of 3 years aged in virgin American oak cask in order to be a bourbon. There's a couple other requirements actually that I rattled off in my Maker's Mark video, and I can't remember.
If you're making a bourbon at home, would you have to use a oak barrel?
If you wanted to call it a bourbon.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You absolutely would.
That was just a question I had. All right. That's all I had for the nose.
So I get obviously vanilla, caramel, this just amazing creamy molasses note. Molasses almost like maple syrup.
Oh yeah.
Like I was saying with that kick, there's almost like a little nail polish. It's definitely alcoholic. It's definitely there, which I love.
Wait until you get your schnoz down in this big tube.
I get some shard oak, some toasted oak from the American oak. Spicy nutmeg and toffee. And lastly, a little caramel fudge. It's delicious stuff. It's a really, really good, sweet, rich, just knows it's really good for a bourbon. It's got power. It's got oomph behind it.
It does.
All right, what do you get on the palate?
Well, on the board I put ... clove. Just because
We always get cloves.
Yeah, but it's been a while.
It has been a while since we've gotten clove.
Yeah, so this reminded me of right off the bat a clove. Anyways, second right off the bat is the ABV. When you take a sip of it right off the bat, especially when it's been a while since I've had this, and you forget about I think it's easy to remember the taste of it, but it's not, how it goes down is not as remembered.
Yeah.
And the heat of it from the high ABV, and it couples with the palate very well. Vanilla, and then probably part of that sugary fruitiness that I had tasted or I had smelled before. Now I'm tasting more of a candy corn, almost like a liquid, hot candy corn.
Which a really good note. We're totally there.
And I'm pairing it also to, I feel like besides that, this bourbon is very relaxing. Keith and I, before this review, both of us had a very rough day. Hey!
Rough day.
We had a rough day. Just when
Significant others,
just
family, stress, poison ivy.
When you're in
debates.
When you're in a relationship with a woman that is your partner, and you make decisions together, days can be rough when you're raising children, and today was one of those days, and we love our wives and our wives love us, but sometimes we don't agree. And today was one of those days. But we're together.
And we're drinking?
Yes. So what I was going to get back to...
life.
Yeah, as soon as I took a drink of this, I knew everything was going to be fine because it's a very relaxing drink. It has a calming to the... Just the flavors of it are very relaxing, I feel like.
Even though it's got that crazy, powerful kick, it is very mellowing into like that, like sweet corn syrup, like flow.
Yeah.
Just coats the mouth for sure. Like the candy corn note you're talking about.
Yeah.
On the palate, I get a fizzy cola that I kind of get a lot, like this carbonated fizzy cola, whether Dr. Pepper cola with a lot of bourbons, and I definitely get it, on the palate in this one. I also get a little bit of aniseed and cinnamon. The cinnamon's not real strong, nor is the aniseed, but it's just there a little bit in the background. Again, molasses, spicy vanilla oak, and again, that corn syrup. I'm trying to think. Let me see if I get anything else. No, that's pretty much it. The cola, aniseed, cinnamon, molasses, spicy vanilla kick from the oak, and just that smooth, mellowing corn syrup candy corn note that you got.
Yeah, no, it's delicious.
Very, very good.
Look at those. Look at the legs on that.
Yeah, this is like nearing Booker's bourbon territory. All right.
I wish you could see that. I know you probably hate the swirls.
Yeah, that's legit. What'd you get on the finish?
Oh, I would like to say it's a long finish, but I feel like it's a little quick. It's quicker than I would like to see it go. The heat, for me, goes away very quickly. I think that is probably has to do with the quality of the taste and the just that you're more looking for those flavors. Honey, a sweetness is left on your lips after it. It's a good finish, but it's a little quicker than I would probably like it to be.
Yeah. For me, I mean, it's not super slow for me. It's kind of more medium.
Yeah.
And again,
that's probably what I'm trying to describe is a medium. Like it's medium, but I wish it could have been long.
It kind of starts for me on the finish like a cherry cola that kind of flows into those corn syrupy, candy corn notes, and then it kind of ends like more drying in my mouth with that oak at the very end. So for me, and overall, a very, very pleasant dram. This is one of my favorite bourbons. To be honest, I haven't had a whole lot of the really high end like Pappy, Colonel E.H. Taylor. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. I just haven't had a whole lot, and I really want to get into some. So if any of the subscribers want to send me some samples of some delicious bourbon, we would be more than happy to receive them. Otherwise, we do need to plan a trip to go down to Kentucky.
We gotta go.
Because otherwise, it's going to be hard to get a hold of some of the bourbons we want.
And if you guys ever have a chance to go to Kentucky, to Bourbon Country, they have all the hotels there can set you up with a bourbon tour where you can visit. They'll tell you where to go, when to go. Our hotel was very accommodating when it came to us and our bachelor party, and they basically tailored our whole visit around our trip to the Jim Beam distillery. And when we got back, we had samples of Jim Beam in our room from the hotel.
Nice.
They do a great job.
What city do you guys actually?
Louisville. Louisville is where we stayed, and Louisville is where you should stay because it's that city is so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
We went there with the military for a weekend. We did one.
We're walking down. What street is that? 4th Street. We're walking down. They close it down, and some guy's walking right next to me, and I'm like, I look over, and I'm like, man, I know that guy. And I turned, and I was like, hey, are you Gavin DeGraw? which means nothing to a lot of people, but he was when we
The
were in
one-hit
college.
wonder.
Yeah, when we were in college, he was like
You're
a.
totally gonna get poison ivy because you just rubbed up.
That's a myth. Anyways, Louisville's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So was it him? Was it
Yeah,
him?
it was him. Yeah, he was performing that night.
Was he cool? Or
Oh, he was
like,
awesome. He was awesome. No, he was great.
He was totally like laid back.
But also because he was kind of a small.
I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately.
Ah!
I won't quit my day job, guys.
No,
All right, so what is
Keith's a really good singer.
back in the day? Malted Man Cave Mark.
Malted Man Cave Mark. I'm gonna give it an 87.
87?
An 87.
I think I'm gonna do a little bit higher than you. I'll go an 88, almost an 89 for me. I've actually decided I'm being a little too liberal with my scores, so I'm gonna start kind of toning them down a little bit. I think sometimes I get a little excited when I like something. I give it too good of a mark, so I kind of wanted to give it an 89, but I'd say this is probably more about an 88. So very good stuff. Go get you guys some for sure. So tonight, question of the night, we decided on top 3 favorite movies from our childhood, and we agreed that childhood ending as of age 18.
Yeah.
So top 3.
Yeah.
So what is your first one?
My first one, and I'm gonna go in. I was gonna say chronological order, but probably the first movie that I couldn't get enough of and kind of shaped my personality and my humor was a series of movies from a group, well, a couple, but it was Laurel and Hardy. Have you ever heard of Laurel and Hardy?
No.
Okay. Laurel.
Is it a Western or what is it?
No, it's a, I don't know, it's like anyways, there's this Laurel and Hardy meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Frank. It's like this Halloween movie. I loved it when I was a kid. I ate it up, so I watched that all the time. And it was like a movie that I was allowed to watch that was like scary. Yeah. And so, so I loved that as a child. As I got a little bit older, man, I had this all worked out. Well, one of my favorite movies to watch with my dad was a movie called Chariots of Fire. Have you ever watched Chariots of Fire?
It's a great movie.
All right, Chariots of Fire. If you haven't seen it, even if you're not a believer in any faith, it's a great movie. It centers around a guy that has a strong faith. It's not relevant. I mean, it is relevant to the movie, but you can still watch it and enjoy it. So it's
The Runner, right?
Yes, Eric
basically said he felt most alive and most close to God when he was running.
Yeah.
It's basically saying, do what you're passionate about with all your heart, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that kind of the whole?
When I run, I feel His pleasure. That's what he says.
Yeah.
When I run, I feel His pleasure. So it's just saying, like, and it's a good message, and it doesn't have to. If you're doing something with all of your heart and it's helping people and it's helping yourself, go for it.
Touche.
All right, go ahead.
So again, I've already said this before, but growing up, literally, my mom would say, like, she would get so annoyed. Like, I literally would watch 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea on repeat, literally for like 2 years straight.
Tentacles.
Every day. I would just ask my mom used to say, she would like, I freaking hated that movie because it would just, I'd always want it to be on. So obviously that's one of my first ones. The next one I would say, you gotta go with Braveheart, man.
Oh, Braveheart.
Braveheart, such a good movie. For many reasons, just all the action. It has like a good message, a good theme.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a counselor in my civilian job. I used to be in the military, but I don't know why I said civilian. But anyways, when we're not doing whiskey reviews, I'm a counselor. And I use the quotes from that movie all the time. One of the different techniques in counseling is existential therapy, like helping people. A lot of people there's a saying, you can only live 2 or 3 weeks without food, only 2 or 3 or 4 days without water, not a single second without hope, which obviously isn't true, but to a certain extent, it is true.
Right.
So a lot of people come in depressed. It's because they have no passion, nothing in their life they would be willing, to give their life for. And I show like the Braveheart speech. He's like, "Are you willing to die in your bed many years from now for one chance?" and all that jazz. So basically like trying to appeal to my clients to have something to live for, to find something, whether it's helping old people, helping others, being the best basketball player, being whatever it is. So Braveheart, definitely one of my favorite movies growing up.
All right, my last one was when we were in high school. I think maybe seniors or right before being seniors or something. But we had dial-up internet, and it took forever to get.
Me and you?
I had dial-up internet at my
remember
house.
we watched it together on dial-up.
Oh, we did. But it took me days to download a trailer to watch it on my computer. And I called Keith over once I had downloaded it, and I was like, "Keith, you gotta come over. Bow with the ball, the bang, diggy, diggy,
and then they didn't even play that.
It doesn't matter.
In the
trailer, but the movie was
Gladiator.
Awesome. Gladiator, man.
Such a good movie.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Who was that? Was
Are
that
you not entertained?
Was that Kid Rock?
Yeah, Kid Rock.
Because they did the trailer to Kid Rock, the ball to the ball, the bang.
Oh, dude, it's so good. Look up that trailer.
And then they didn't even freaking
Doesn't
do it.
matter.
I was so remember we were pissed.
Yeah.
We're like,
oh yeah. All movie long, we're like,
where is it? So my last one actually is another movie we saw together, The Patriot, with Mel Gibson. It's such a good movie. Obviously, I love America, and it was just a good movie. So I would say those are my 3 favorites. You already have your 3?
Yeah. So I've got
Clear and Present Danger.
Oh man.
We were watching, or we were gonna watch. I remember as like 5th graders, we wanted to watch Son of Flubber, and your mom's like, "Did you take out the
Not
trash,
Son of
dude?"
Flubber. It was the original.
We were gonna go watch it, and then she didn't let us go.
I didn't take the trash
Dave
out.
didn't take out the trash. It was Dad. His mom's
yeah.
like, "We are not going."
If you have responsibilities, my parents instilled in us that you had to.
You ain't going.
No, you ain't going to go see Flubber if you didn't take out the trash.
So, go check out those movies, guys. Also, go check out Knob Creek Kentucky Straight Whiskey. It is delicious. Cilantro.